It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 6.
Can I tell them a quick story, Blair?
Sure.
So, as you can see, we don't have no signs, right? So, last night I was going to the store because we was preparing for a snowstorm, and I had every intentions to get markers.
Yes.
From the store.
Yes.
Right? I said, hey, Blair, do you need something from the store before, the snow comes and things of that nature? She said, yeah, just give me some almond milk. I said, got you, right? I go in the store. I get the almond milk first. I get the almond milk first. You're welcome, right? I get the almond milk first, and then I got distracted. I got onion rings.
Okay.
And then I got a frozen pizza for the snowstorm.
Okay.
I did not get the markers.
Okay.
That's why we don't got no sign. Okay. We will have a sign hopefully by the end of the week.
Yes.
But
we need markers.
But just in case, what would your sign say if you had to write something about this episode, Blair?
I feel for sweet tea.
You feel for sweet tea.
Yes.
That's a nice sign. My sign would say, I'm tired of Dr. Damon. That what my sign would say. You ready to walk us through this episode?
I'm ready.
Let's go, please.
So Jackie is begging Heavenly to be quiet. She's overstimulated. She can't figure out how to work the golf cart to drive the back.
That is true.
So Jackie is stressed and just needs some silence.
That is very true. I did see her hand acting like it's a spaceship. I'm thinking it's only 2 buttons, right?
Maybe she didn't have the keys. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Sweet Tea, Contessa, and Toya leave. They go back to their cabins. Quad and Phaedra are finishing their food.
Yeah.
Toya is telling the ladies that Heavenly grew up pretty hard. She didn't have a relationship with her mom when she passed away and doesn't have a great relationship with her sister. She has a hard time maintaining relationships with her friends as well. When she's angry, she's lethal, and at this point people are tired.
Yeah.
Jackie is the only one that Heavenly listens to, but both Contessa and Sweet Tea think that Jackie needs to speak up a little bit more.
Jackie need to speak up a little bit more? Okay.
So Simone, Heavenly, and Jackie go back to the table, and Quad tells Heavenly that the Yo Mama stuff was not right.
Okay.
Heavenly gets it was wrong. It was just a response. She really wasn't trying to come at the girl's mom. That's just how she reacts.
Yeah.
Jackie asks if there's any issues that we need to resolve at the table now, and Quad asked Jackie if her apology was just to pacify her. Jackie said that she wanted to genuinely be sorry, and she is genuinely sorry, and she wants it to cover the multitudes of whatever she needs to be sorry to Quad about.
I don't like that. Don't.
I don't either.
Like, don't repeat the same thing to me, but you just flipped it and reversed it. You get what I'm saying? Keep going, because we definitely gonna talk about it.
Quad says that she was hurt by how they all came up against her. She lost sleep, she lost weight, and no one checked on her. Heavenly apologized again, and Phaedra at this point doesn't know what else they need to do in order for Quad to get past this. Yeah. Simone says, if it was that bad, then we wouldn't have been able to come back from it, but we did. You let me back in. I go on this merry-go-round, and we're on the outs again. Yeah. And Quad says, well, that only happened because of the comment you made in New York about the niece.
That's fair.
Simone apologized for that. Finally. And Jackie prays for God to take away the pain in the friend group, as well as to heal Quad's heart.
See, Jackie, I don't need your prayers. I need your apology.
Yeah.
That's very different. What is your thoughts on this scene, Blair?
My thoughts are you're not going to get a real thought out apology from Dr. Jackie. Wow. You're just not. It's just not going to happen. Hate to bring up Buffy, but Jackie was really wrong with the Buffy situation, and she said, I'm sorry. You hear that? You're done? I'm done with it.
Yeah,
okay?
Pretty much.
So, yeah, Jackie is not in the apology business, okay? She is in the baby and vagina business.
Pretty much.
And when it comes to Quad, yes, Quad, we hear you're hurt.
Yes.
We get it. Everyone has apologized now for all of their parts.
That's true.
Jackie, that's the best you're going to get from her. So it's kind of like, are we moving on or are we rehashing? Now, I'll say this thing, that apologies, you can be quick to accept them and to forgive the person, but it can take a while for your emotions to catch up. But that's for Quad's emotions to get there. I think it's time to stop harping on it.
Yeah, Quad, just let's just pull back on the dramatics a little bit. The losing sleep, losing weight, with the whole don't do me like that, okay? Promise you don't do me like that. Okay, right? I understand we still talk about Napa. For one, let's break the fourth wall a little bit. Apparently, there was a scene where Sweet Tea and Quad got into it. That's why Sweet Tea was angrily cutting up her food.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Because Quad had chest bumped her after, this is all, at least from what I saw from Sweet Tea's after show or whatever, talking about the things that happened. So she wasn't just upset from the argument with Heavenly. She told Quad, you let Heavenly get in your head because Heavenly talked about Dr. G being abusive, and then Quad started chest pumping her, saying like, you don't know what I've been through and all this type of stuff.
And there's physical. It was a physical altercation. Doesn't mean fists were thrown, but the fact that y'all chest bumping like y'all on the same team, it's just too much. Everybody was just out of whack, right? Here's the thing: when it comes to the apology, you ain't getting one from Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Jackie apparently is not going to be held accountable to give one, right? They are not going to replace Dr. Jackie on this show. They are not going to replace the intro to Married to Medicine, Phaedra and Dr. Jackie. That ain't going nowhere, right? So Dr. Jackie is going to be here. The fact that I will agree with this, Dr. Heavily is a grown woman, and the fact that you say that Dr. Jackie got to hold Heavily accountable for her actions, it's like, no, we going to hold Dr. Heavily accountable. I'm going to touch more into it once we get to the Contessa scene, but Contessa's not innocent in this. I understand that Dr. Heavily said, yo mama, but that was after she talked about Heavily's daughter and after she alleged that Dr. Damon has a mystery child. Like, let's not just act like she just came out and just talked about your mother that passed away. Like, y'all was in a verbal, like combat. You get what I'm saying? But let's continue. There is a lot of meat on this bone that we gonna get into.
So Contessa doesn't believe that she's responsible for anything that happened to Jackie as far as Jackie falling.
Okay.
Jackie, we saw the playback, was apparently holding on to Contessa, trying to hold Contessa back. Contessa did a little spin move and Jackie hit the ground.
She did.
Jackie says that she's not really hurt, but she is trying to teach a lesson to her friends of what could have happened as far as her being injured.
Jackie, we don't need the lessons, right? Okay, we understand, but we don't need the lessons. Go ahead.
Jackie tells Heavenly and Qua that she is planning a second Med Gala.
Okay.
The theme is Enchanted Garden of Mother Nature. Qua thinks that she actually did make some headway with Simone. Heavenly says that she and Contessa both had things that they need to get out, but this is what happens when you let things fester.
True.
Heavenly knows that she was wrong when she said the Yo Mama stuff, because she didn't like it when it was done to her, and they flashed back to when Sweet Tea was talking about her mom, being passed away, and then when Toya was like, I don't got no sympathy for you because I don't know nothing about no dead mamas.
Listen here.
Like,
Toya said, my mama's alive.
Exactly.
Okay. I cannot relate. Okay, I hear you, Toya. Thank you.
That was wild, actually. That kind of had me crying a little bit.
I ain't gonna hold you. I kind of like that a little bit.
So Contessa remembers having a vulnerable conversation with Heavenly, and that's when she saw that there was a good woman there. But seeing what happened last night, Phaedra can't see the mean girl that the people talk about. Contessa is fine with them keeping their distance as long as, if something organic brings them back together, that's cool too.
Yeah. Contessa, stop it. Okay, because first of all, let's not act like what drove this whole argument in the first place. You are mad at Dr. Heavily. I understand. Let me give a hard stop. I understand Dr. Heavily crossed some lines on her YouTube show and she talked about her friend, but she talks about her friends all the time.
Yeah.
And when it came down to talking about you and your marriage, she was basically repeating and reiterating what you showed us on the show. She was not showing us any behind the scenes.
That's why it's so annoying, because Contessa, you
you
showed us the inner workings of your relationship.
Exactly.
And Heavenly commented on it, maybe threw her opinion in there
just a little bit,
but she didn't go crazy with it.
She could have went crazy,
and you are holding on to this. Now I understand if Contessa's like, well, none of my friends should be talking about my relationship. Do you know who Heavenly is? Why would you befriend somebody like this if you don't want a friend talking about you? Like, Heavenly's going to talk about everybody. You hear she talk about Quad, and Quad is supposedly the closest one to her. So that's why I'm just like, Contessa, like, I'm over it.
As you can see, Blair don't like Contessa. She just cut me off.
Sorry.
It just
sorry.
It just took me off my point.
I'm sorry. I had to get it.
And just took me off my point completely.
I had to hammer that in. Sorry.
Right? Mm-hmm. You are free to hammer whatever you want in, baby.
I apologize.
Right? So, as I was saying,
yes,
that Dr. Heavily did not reveal anything, no secrets that we did not see.
Amen.
As Blair hammered in, right? Right. So my thing is this. That is really the whole source and the root of why y'all got into that argument last night, because you felt like she needs to be held accountable. And I'm just like this. I understand. I'm not defending Dr. Heavily. Dr. Heavily do go too far, as we go hear about it in the next scene, right? She goes too far. But don't act like everyone on this show is not eating off of the too farness that Dr. Heavily goes.
Yeah.
This show has been on the brink of being canceled every season. You get what I'm saying? And guess what? I don't see no Dr. Contessa's. I don't see no Dr. Jackie's. Sweet Tea just started doing it. She's new, so I'm not going to hold that to her. I don't see Toya. I don't see Dr. Simone. I don't see any of y'all doing a live or being on YouTube or anything like that, keeping y'all names or keeping Married to Medicine on the forefront of people's minds that make people want to see the next season.
Doing the off-season work.
And here's what I'm saying. Dr. Heavily, in the aspect of her doing all this work, she do things that are too far.
Yes.
But Dr. Contessa, you do not qualify for that too far. Okay. Dr. G qualifies for the too far.
That was too far.
That's too far.
Yeah.
But you, Contessa, do not. You cried literally that season, all season, every episode about your husband. Your husband was foul throughout that whole season, and all she did, Dr. Heavily, was just reiterated it. So do not try to act like this whole argument of basically somebody need to check Dr. Heavily because I saw a good person. You was the one who went in and talked about her daughter's failed shop and things like that. You was the one who talked about Dr. Damon, and now you're mad that she go talk about your dead mama? And she said your mama's stupid. Like, what are you expecting from Dr. Heavily after you talked about her daughter and her husband? I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying don't get in the pig pen and then you dirty and then she's dirty. And then when you get more dirty or when she gets more dirty, you're like, oh my goodness, this is too dirty. No, you got in the pig pen.
Or even, if I could use your example, don't get in a fight in a pig pen and be surprised you fighting a pig.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen here. a pig that got great teeth. Okay. You know what I'm saying? A great analogy.
Yes. So Dr. G, Cecil, Dr. Scott go ATV riding.
I want y'all to really pay attention to me on this scene right here because this, I'm tired of Dr. Damon. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So Cecil says the ladies are all over the place in their friendship. Sweet Tea left the house in a good mood. Dr. G kind of prepped her for battle. And then we see Dr. Damon visiting Dr. Eugene.
Yeah.
This is probably the first time they've actually just hung out. They're smoking cigars, sharing a little bit of dark liquor. You don't want to have to repeat back to your wife what has been said is the reason why Eugene says that they haven't gotten together, because it's just like, you be in our business.
Yeah, pretty much. So he said, I don't mean y'all business.
Sure.
Pretty much.
Eugene says that there was a lot of tension between Dr. Damon and Dr. G at the dinner, and he thinks that Dr. G feels a little bit dismissed.
Okay.
Dr. Damon respects him for possibly being hurt, but as a guy, if you have something to say, then just say it.
I thought he did.
So Dr. G, back with Scott and them, says that he tried to give his perspective, but he feels that he's owed an apology. Heavenly was going haywire, and no one has time for Heavenly's antics.
Yeah.
Dr. G is considering extending an olive branch to Dr. Damon. Eugene says, look, Dr. G's wife is in a new circle with these ladies, with Dr. G's ex-wife. Heavenly's there having a lot of commentary, and he says, maybe Dr. Damon could stand to be the bigger man. Well, Dr. Damon feels like he is being the bigger man. He doesn't hold anything against Dr. G, and he doesn't need other guys to prompt him for conversation. If Dr. G wants to sit down and have a conversation similar to how Eugene is doing it, then Dr. Damon would welcome it.
He basically like, don't tell me what to do, Eugene. That's basically what he did.
Yeah.
You first, Blair.
My thought process is, Dr. Damon is defending Heavenly with all his might.
Okay.
And I don't think that Dr. G is going to find any type of common ground with Damon when it comes to Heavenly going too far or doing too much, because he just won't admit his wife's wrongdoings.
Yeah.
He just won't. He'll check Heavenly in private, but that's about it. You're not going to get anything in front of your face to where Dr. Damon says, I agree with you, or I'll see if my wife can talk to you, or nothing like that. You're not going to get it. So if that's the case, I think that Dr. G should just peep the scene and move accordingly.
Yeah.
It sucks that it has to be this way, but Dr. Damon's not going to move off his post. So
there was years ago, over 7 years ago, maybe within those 7 years, but definitely over 7 years ago, when the movement, like the black movement, things like that, especially with the George Floyd and all this stuff going on, there was a lot of debates on CNN and things like that, right? There was just one debate about which word is a more derogatory word, the word cracker or the N-word.
Okay.
And it was written out just like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, the word that couldn't be spelled out
is the more
derogatory word. Why don't nobody say what Dr. Heavily called Dr. Greg on the show?
Yeah.
Why don't we say it on the show?
Because it's derogatory.
Because it's derogatory. Thank you, Blair.
Yes.
Right? Here's the thing about it. The reason why Dr. Damon is mad have nothing to do with how Dr. Greg feel disrespected or checking Dr. Heavily. Like, the only reason why Dr. Damon is in his feelings, which is why I don't really bang with him this season, is because when he referred those patients to Dr. G, and Dr. G chose not to work with those patients, that affected his business. But he don't see how his wife calling him the P word
could affect his.
Would not only affect his business, but break the relationship.
Exactly.
Come on now, you're a smart man.
Yeah.
And you're choosing to be blind to it. You're not blind to it. You're choosing to be blind. So why would I take on business more and on top of the business that I already have, right? Keep that relationship, and you won't even give me a conversation. When I was trying to have a conversation, you called me sensitive. But then you want to sit up here and talk about no one go prompt me to have a conversation. I feel like I'm being the bigger man. No, you're being sensitive, Dr. Damon. And you're not being right. And this whole thing of you check your wife in private, I don't even think he do that, to be honest. Because there's no way that we going to act like what and this is what I mean when I say Dr. Heavily keep the show on the forefront. An effort of keeping a show on the forefront and keeping the things spicy with the show and things like that, Dr. Heavily went too far. Out of everything that Dr. Heavily ever done, and this is, I mean, ever done, including your dead mama and all that stuff, this is the thing that she went too far on, that she needs to 100% apologize for and pull back on. Because for one, she wasn't even talking to Dr. G, right?
No.
This was you did that to a new castmate. It did not require for Dr. Heavily to go that low with Dr. G. So we're not going to act like Dr. G is not right to feel some type of way where they can't even say on the show what Dr. Heavily said. They blurred it out.
Exactly.
So like, let's not try to act like the term that was put on his name, the smut that was put on his name and things of that nature do not require a conversation. See, me would have required me to put hands on somebody. And that means your husband.
Yeah.
Because your husband got answer for that now. But you over here call yourself Dr. Damon, want to refer people to Dr. G and be mad when he turned them down because your wife broke the relationship and you're not doing your part to mend it.
Exactly.
That's not right.
Good point. Very
That's
good.
not right.
So the ladies go
I'm
to
tired of you this season, Dr. Damon. Okay, that's it.
So the ladies go to the saloon.
Yeah.
Jackie flinches when Contessa comes over.
Okay, stop it. Stop it, Dr. Jackie.
So they gather around the bonfire for drinks and snacks. Contessa was a co-host of the trip, so she does apologize for Jackie getting hurt.
Okay.
And Contessa's like, but my issue is that you all know what happened. You all saw how things got ignited and how things progressed.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating to Contessa that people are just deciding to turn a blind eye to Heavenly. And Simone says, we don't understand how it got so effed up. Contessa is tired of everyone letting Heavenly get away with everything. Phaedra says that in Atlanta, we can actively work to resolve our differences.
Yeah.
Heavenly and Contessa are both cool with letting it be what it is. T says that Heavenly, but you do agree to hold the insults. And Heavenly was like, we don't need to talk right now. The tension's too bad. Just let it go. Basically, you can't say nothing to me, sweet tea.
Yeah, don't say nothing to me.
Toya says that she isn't trying to hear you right now. You can't tell Heavenly anything because y'all don't have that kind of relationship. Well, Phaedra ends the night in prayer.
Is this where you started feeling bad for Sweet Tea? Because Sweet Tea was trying to talk and everybody kept telling her, hush, please. Go ahead.
So first thing I'll address is Contessa. I can feel for Contessa in the fact that Heavenly has a role in the altercations that happen, and she also plays a role in things escalating. Yeah, Heavenly is not a de-escalator.
No, she's not.
And whether or not Contessa met Heavenly where she was at or went further, Heavenly was a huge part in it, and it is very frustrating to see someone like Heavenly just be mean and nasty, throw out insults, go super low, and everyone is just kind of like, well, that's just how she is. But even though it sucks and it's annoying to say that's just how she is and you would like someone to hold them accountable, Heavenly's not going to change, and she has never changed. So what do you want them to do, Contessa?
Facts.
Like, we cannot make this lady be nice. She's not a nice lady, you know, at least not in this friend group and this dynamic. She's come to work and she has chosen to be the villain. Yeah. So at this point, Contessa, you kind of do have to accept Heavenly for who she is and what she brings, because you're not going to change it. Yeah. Now, when it comes to Sweet Tea,
go ahead.
I was watching some of her recaps on the different episodes, and I really do like Sweet Tea, and I like her personality. She seems like a really cool girl.
Okay.
And she seems like very down to earth and just a nice, genuine person from what I've seen on her channel. And I feel like you don't get enough of that personality on the show because she is in defense mode, because Heavenly is just such a nasty individual to her.
Yeah.
Also, she is pretty much kind of like bottom rung on the show as being like the newest person.
100%.
Her coming in as Dr. G's second wife. And I can say this to the fact of Sweet Tea, you're coming into an already established friend group. It wasn't going to be easy for you, even though they did actually take it easy on you, and you kind of like did a little bit too
I'm about
much.
to say, trust
they
me,
actually did go easy.
she did not get the Toya treatment.
She didn't get the Toya treatment.
She did not get the Toya treatment.
But I will say that I think that if Sweet Tea is going to be in the circle, then I would like for them to respect her voice the way that they respect each other's voies. I think that it's unfair that if she says, okay, Heavenly, can we chill out on the insults, and everybody's like, shut up.
That's pretty much what happened.
I don't like that, because Heavenly do be doing too much. And for nobody to back her up and just be like, okay, I know you don't want to hear it from Sweet Tea, but Heavenly, can you chill? You know, like back her up in the simple fact of right and wrong. I don't think that's right. Especially Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie don't be saying nothing to Heavenly, really. No. So I'm just like, in that moment, I felt like somebody could have had Sweet Tea's back in the sense that, Heavenly, you do too much. You really do. But I will say that they do have a habit, I feel like, of not respecting certain people that they don't respect. So I'll say like Toya, I would say, had the Sweet Tea treatment because she was not respected. People didn't really want to hear what she had to say. And Simone, as we talk about, circled her and told her she wasn't smart. So, I mean,
my favorite scene.
So not to say that Sweet Tea deserves like preferential treatment or kid gloves, but I think that I'm kind of tired of seeing them little girl her. She's here. So she's here, she's a woman, and as long as she's acting mature, treat her as such. So
I'm gonna address your Sweet Tea thing after I address the Contessa thing.
Okay.
The reason why, Contessa, your argument fall flat is because you are coming here trying to be the voice of reason for everybody, and no one asked you to do that. You over there saying, I'm tired of Dr. Heavenly, y'all let her get away with everything. No, what is your grievance? Stick to your beef. Right? Don't talk about how Dr. Jackie need to check Heavenly more and we need to check on her insults and things of that nature. What is your problem with her? And keep it isolated to just y'all two. So that's why, especially with Contessa, on top of you making it an everyone issue, we don't respect your singular issue. We don't respect the fact that you mad at her based off whatever marriage details that you thought Dr. Heavenly revealed that you did all season. So we don't even respect your singular issue. So Dr. Contessa, go to the side, right? The reason why I disagree with what you said about Sweet Tea, I understand what you mean in the sense of like the spirit of it. Like, she's here, she's on the cast, respect her, but no, right? I am a baby sibling out of 3, right? I am the youngest. I have a sister that's 10 years older than me, and I have a brother who is 16 years older than me. So they didn't start listening to my voice till yesterday. Okay, so so there is a such thing as knowing your place, knowing your position, right? And actually, like, your voice really don't matter. Right here, especially with the issue with Contessa. I think they view that as this was going on, or this is an issue that was here before you was on the cast.
True.
Right? You don't like Phaedra, even though I really don't care for Phaedra on the show, I don't see her piping up, right? Also, we also gotta I said also a lot right there. We gotta also acknowledge how Sweet Tea got into this show, into this friend group. A lot of them don't respect how she got with Dr. G. Period. Right? Sweet Tea's younger than me. I'm just gonna throw that out there. She's younger than me, and I'm not old at all. I'm not 35. So she's younger than me, right? So for her to be with Dr. G, knowing that she was probably a fan of the show, knowing that they don't run in the same circles, knowing how she went into the DMs, and she is that much younger than Dr. G, that much younger than the whole group, you really got to do a lot of shutting up and staying in your place. Even though they made you the vocal point, or rather the focal point of basically talk about y'all marriage last season. But we doing that to make you kind of the punching bag of the season, right? So for her to say, And I understand what she's saying is 100% right. We need to chill on the insults. They probably looking at her like, listen here, heavily insults got me an extra $10,000 every season. An extra $30,000.
Maybe it is a double-edged sword.
No,
for them.
it is.
Yeah.
And Dr. Heavenly's like, you can't say nothing to me right now. Stop talking to me. And that's when Toya, I think truthfully, I think Toya do like Sweet Tea. I think she is fond of her. But I think even Toya, in the position that she's in on the show normally, had to tell Sweet Tea, hey, stop talking. This is not a time for you. Like she said it verbatim. She said, you don't know how to read a room. She said she's not reading the room. And I think in that time, even though what she was saying was right, you don't have the pull to check Dr. Heavenly in a group setting where there's Dr. Simone there, there's Dr. Jackie there, even Contessa's there, Quad is there, Toya's there. You are really the bottom of the totem pole. And you really just need to really let your presence be felt more than let your voice be heard. And I learned that as a baby sibling. You get what I'm saying? No one asked for all the opinions I gave when I was living with my siblings, no one ever asked me. I just gave it. Yeah. Right? You get what I'm saying? But there comes a point to where people do ask you for your opinion once you kind of earn it. And I feel like second season into the show, Sweet Tea, you still got some, you still got some growing pains to do with the show. But truth be told, I don't think they ever gonna respect you. They all doctors, they all got careers, they all rich. And they just view you as the little girl that got the old doctor for his money. Yeah. Pretty much. So they never gonna respect you.
So we move on to Contessa and Scott having a chat at their house.
Okay.
Curtis called Scott and asked what's happening with Contessa pushing Jackie on the ground.
Yeah. Come on now.
So apparently Contessa went after Heavenly. She swung around and Jackie went airborne.
Yeah, she did.
And Contessa was like, let me tell you what really happened.
Yeah.
She said Heavenly keeps saying that she's miserable with her husband and she called Scott abusive. Contessa, that doesn't explain how Jackie hit the ground.
It really doesn't.
Contessa picks and chooses what she wants to hear and respond to. That's something I noticed that also is irritating.
Yeah. No, a lot. Yeah.
She says that the worst that Scott says the worst thing he's done is dress up as Ike Turner. Contessa doesn't see why Heavenly is still talking about this, and Scott doesn't see why Heavenly is still on this. Scott doesn't care anymore. And then Contessa tells Scott that Heavenly said F her mom and doubled down on it. Her mom who passed away of breast cancer. My thoughts about this scene is, Contessa, you rewrite history and you put 20 on 10. Heavenly did not say F your mom. She said your mom is stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two different things. Both insults. But two different things.
But she did not say F your mom. And then also, when Scott and Contessa I don't know why she's still talking about this. Contessa, you were the one that asked her, do you think my husband is abusive during the fight?
That's literally what
Why
happened.
are you asking her that in the middle of a fight? Do you care her answer? If you don't care, then what you asking her for?
And she said yes.
Yeah. So I'm just like, you're not going to change how Heavenly feels, what Heavenly thinks, or even how Heavenly chooses to speak. If you want to beat her up and try to shut her up, you could try. But she's going to be safe in her closet when she goes off on you about it.
Then she gonna call security.
Yes. So I'm just like, Contessa, all this anger and rage, I can understand the fact that, okay, you're frustrated, but what do you want to happen? Heavenly's not going to change.
She don't have no accountability. So Contessa have no accountability. Throughout that whole time, they was going through a whole marriage issue, whatever it is. And when I say marriage issues, not marriage issues to the point with divorce, but don't act like you wasn't going through the peaks and valleys of your marriage, where even when you went back to school, that was a problem for Scott and things of that nature. So don't even try to make it seem like we was over here peacefully minding our business and then Heavenly just started talking about our marriage. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. You cried literally every day on that season for 2 seasons, basically, for the season where you was complaining about your husband and the season after the fact where you said Heavenly betrayed you. See, the thing about it was you thought it just hit me. Contessa thought she was Dr. Jackie. She thought that she was going to get in that Dr. Jackie club to where I'm friends with Heavenly, and guess what? Us three, the 3 Musketeers, going to be the 3 people that Dr. Heavenly never talk about. No, you're not part of that club, because they don't say Paige and Dr. Contessa in the beginning. They say Paige and Dr. Jackie. So guess what? At the end of the day, Dr. Heavenly is the face when it comes to off season, when it comes to Married to Medicine, and Dr. Jackie is the face on season. That's why her name is first. That's why like Dr. Heavily is close to her, because she's like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that y'all never go vote me off, because if it comes down to a vote, Dr. Jackie gonna have the last say. And guess what? There's been many times on the show that Dr. Heavily shared with us that they tried to do things behind her back, even Dr. Heavily, and Dr. Heavily had the veto, such as trying to get Quad off the show.
Yeah.
And she said, no, that's not happening.
And if I can just speak to the abuse part of whether Heavenly thinks Scott is abusive or not.
Yeah.
There was a scene when they were on vacation, when all the couples went on their couples vacation that they always do. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Help me.
But I remember there was a scene where Contessa went to go into the women's room and low-key hide, and Scott was banging on the door. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop talking before I make this stuff up.
I'm like, hey. Allegedly.
But, like, they were trying to separate them or keep them separated on that trip. Like, Contessa was acting scared. So, anyway.
Allegedly.
No, I'm saying she was acting scared, and I'm just like, it doesn't mean that he's abusive per se, but I could see why Heavenly might come to that
but abusive don't
realization.
But abusive doesn't mean always physical.
No, but
Scott was, now I can say this without allegedly, based on what we've seen, he was definitely verbally,
and
like,
that's what Heavenly was saying. But
like,
I'm saying, like, the way Contessa was acting like she was scared of her husband.
Hey,
and
let us know that scene, because I don't remember.
Okay, so Jackie is planning the Med Gala. She has the event planner there to help. This year, they're also going to be raising money for a good cause.
Okay.
Phaedra arrives. She is supposed to be the co-chair, and she was also supposed to be helping with selling tickets. Phaedra said that she doesn't have the invite link, and Jackie says, yes, you do. You haven't responded to any of my messages. Apparently, Phaedra has 72 unread text messages.
Wow.
Phaedra knows some doctors to raise money. All she needs to do is place a phone call. The money's going to be flowing in. So Jackie is $15K in the hole right now. She really only wants to raise $20K, but Phaedra says we can get to $100K, no problem. So Phaedra says that she fundraises all the time. She ends up calling a doctor who is a potential investor or donor or whatever like that, and she calls, no answer. But she's like, it's Friday night. You know what I'm saying?
Listen here. I think Phaedra, if there is a reality TV star or whatever you want to call it, scammer, perpetrator, I think Phaedra is number one. I don't think she has the connects that she thinks she has. The fact that she's able to just float around, show the show, and based on what was told to me, because I haven't watched the early days of Housewives of Atlanta, Phaedra really never shared her life. She never was really forthright about anything. And Dr. Heavily,
she lied about a lot of parts of her life.
Dr. Heavily said, perfect thing she said. She said the problem that she had with Phaedra, I'm paraphrasing here, was that sometimes the truth would do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like she lied about things that you don't have to lie about, such as she don't drink, but she got a whole drink name after her. Things like that. Sometimes the truth would do. Yeah. And I think Phaedra is just one of those people that I just don't believe. I think Phaedra is really, I know, I don't know if y'all watch Real Housewives of Potomac and they say Mia be lying. I think Phaedra really be lying as well. And they cousins. They are distant cousins.
She's the original
lying. Oh yeah. Lying. You know? Anything else on this episode?
That's all I got.
I enjoyed this episode. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, comment. Let us know what y'all think. Let us know if we got anything wrong about that scene with Scott trying to bang down the door. I don't remember it. I'm
gonna look it up.
Yeah, do that for me and show me.
Okay.
And we will see y'all next time.
All right, bye.